My name's Brian Rush. Welcome back to the Lodge here at Rush Custom Callers YouTube channel. Let's have a seat and we're going to get back to the next episode. All right, so this video right here is going to be dedicated to the new predator hunter, putting boots on the ground for the very first time. So I thought about myself back in the day when I was full-time employment working for a municipality, could not wait to get out of work. Conditions are good, snow's on the ground. What did I need back then before the technology change with night vision and thermal? What did I use to be successful out in the field? So to the new predator hunter out there, this is something that's very difficult for you to do. Any negative comment that you're going to read on this video, completely discard that. Throw it in the trash and just look at the positive. If you have any positive feedback to contribute to somebody else's success, please share that, because that is the like-mindedness of how we excel as hunters in the field. You got a good comment, you have success in the field with your upbringing in the predator woods, please absolutely share that. So this is my perspective, my point of view of when I was new. What did I used to do before this amazing technology change with thermals and night vision? So right here, this implement right here probably has more coyote kills than any other firearm that I have other than my thermal night vision optic on my 22-250. So this right here, safety first. Safety first. Whenever we're handling firearms, double check, triple check. You cannot be redundant to make sure that firearm is unloaded. I'm a hunter ed instructor for the state. It's secondhand nature for me. Clear the chamber. Double check, triple check, finger check, make sure nothing's in there. Keep that muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Just make good decisions, okay? So this is a Mossberg Pump 500 with a Carlson's Coyote choke tube threaded into the end of the barrel. So the other thing I want to show you is what round I was using back in the day to coyote call. Not just coyotes, but predator. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. This is a shotgun shell, number 4 buckshot. This is number 4 buckshot. Number 4 buckshot is almost comparable to the caliber of a 22. Number 4 3-inch 12 gauge buckshot has 41 of these little angry bees coming out of the end of your muzzle. Accuracy with volume. You got a lot of angry bees coming out of the end of that muzzle. Effective range, I've killed coyotes 50 yards, 60 yards, probably up to limited distance. I probably wouldn't take that shot over 70 yards, but number 4 buckshot combined with a full choke, if you're not buying an aftermarket choke, full choke, 12 gauge, number 4 buckshot, 3-inch, versus your 3-inch double-aught buck, which has 15 pellets in it. So now you're comparing 15 pellets, obviously larger caliber of the gauge, versus 15 versus 41. You got a lot more angry bees coming out of that muzzle. That was my go-to back in the day. So my approach, excuse me, my approach going into a stand with shotgun timber sits, I wouldn't sit on field's edge. I would sit down in that habitat, that thick rabbit habitat, where my shots were anywheres from 10 yards to 15 yards to maybe 30, 35 yards. The closest coyote I've ever called in was if I stuck the end of the muzzle out from the shotgun, I would have poked the coyote. I wish I had that one on video. That was absolutely amazing to call a coyote in that close. Especially when you're hand calling. It's absolutely amazing. It's fun when you can manipulate that animal with a hand call in their bedroom. So the time of day that I would do this and my approach for this, wind direction is going to be your number one key for success. As long as your wind is not blowing into the habitat where you think the animal is coming from, call it. Get in, sit down, kind of treat it like a turkey hunt where you can find something to lean against, a big base of a tree, shotgun in the timber. You really don't have to stand up. Find something to break up your silhouette. Now, visibility, doing this at twilights in the morning, doing it at twilight in the evening where there's no snow on the ground. As soon as you lose sight, it's getting too dark, gotta call it quits, unfortunately. One thing you can really take into consideration is moonlight, snow on the ground, how much moonlight is there. You can pick silhouettes moving around. This is a great time not to focus the attention on coyotes, but fox. Absolutely. You're going to learn so much about slipping into the habitat and calling, especially when you have an overlap of season with fox and bobcat and coyotes. When you have that overlap of season and you're in that habitat, you don't have to identify, is it a fox? Is it a bobcat? Is it a coyote? It's a predator coming to your call. Shoot it. So these are approaches that I took in the past where wind direction was conducive, slip into that habitat, get right on the fringe of just that thick habitat, that rabbitat, that thick stuff, and call. And you're gonna be a little bit more monotone. Just lots of repetitive sound. This is definitely going to bring your fox in. It can bring your bobcats in. Definitely, it can bring your coyotes in, but I'm not doing it to a point where I'm on a coyote stand on a field's edge and I'm starting quiet and I'm just picking up volume and making that sound erratic as all heck just to try to captivate a coyote's attention. I don't want to add that rasp. I don't want to add that back pressure. I just want to be that monotone, repetitive sound. That's going to bring in a lot of fox. And when you can learn how to blow into that call for a long time, it's going to increase your chance for bobcat as well. So finding that habitat, finding that thick stuff. So revert back to light. You put snow on the ground, you got good ambient light from the moon. You can pick silhouettes moving around. Now, here's another very important part. So find those heavily urbanized areas where there's no hunting allowed because of human proximity. You're too close to houses. Just outside of those areas, you don't need a full moon. You need cloud cover at night with snow on the ground. This is going to sound silly, but fact. Reflection of light pollution coming off of heavily urbanized areas, reflecting off of cloud cover, coming right back down to the ground, completely illuminates your surroundings. If you have snow cover on the ground next to a heavily urbanized area, you can absolutely use that to your advantage. Where there's no moon, like it could be zero moon at all. It could be a brand new moon, crescent moon, and you're hugging heavily urbanized areas with a lot of light pollution. And something else to keep in mind, it doesn't necessarily have to be like residential city area. If you get into a commercial area, parking lots with a lot of light, and you're getting close enough to those, but this is also ethics, proximity, legal discharge distance. So know your regulations, know your game laws. This is your responsibility to recognize legally, can I or can I not be there? So that burden's on your shoulders, not mine. These are different things that I've utilized in the past for success. I've killed a pile of coyotes and fox going with this approach. So you're going to have that one guy that's going to say, well, you're going to go in there and you're going to call, you're not going to see anything, you're going to educate a population. Yes, this is 100% true. This is 100% true. You're going to screw up. You got to learn from your mistakes. Go back the next day. Go back the next day, daylight. Walk around that area if you had snow on the ground. Look for the tracks. Look for the tracks. Did something maybe come to your call? And what way was the wind blowing that evening? Keep in mind your thermals, your wind direction, all of those other things. That's going to be woodsman skills and time in the field. But for the new hunter, you're going to be on a constant scanning adrenaline rush the whole time, waiting for something to pop out for you to get a shot on. It's very exciting. It's very fun. Now, if you have the opportunity to have a partner, having a partner doing this in very, very close proximity, the camaraderie of you and a buddy going out and doing this, you can still be super successful with you and your best bud going out, finding that thick rabbit habitat, scout it in the daytime, go back a couple days later with a game plan and hug that proximity real close to that rabbit habitat, sit back to back, muzzle control. You point one way, this is your zone of fire. You point the other way, this is your zone of fire. Make good decisions and have a game plan, especially when you're with a partner. One person's great. 2 people, in my opinion, are even better. 3 people with this approach, not so much. 4 people, too many chefs in the kitchen. 1 person's great. 2 people's really good. I've had a lot of success in the past doing this with really good buddies of mine. We've had a lot of fun and we've had a lot of success.